Hello students, welcome to the next session, lecture 8. So in this session we'll be discussing power MOSFETs. So in any circuit, if a component is having an ability to control the flow of electrons and eventually the current, then those components are called active device in a circuit. So example, BJT, JFET and MOSFETs are all active devices. On the other hand, the circuit component with no ability to control the flow of electrons are passive devices. We have PN junction diodes, capacitors, transformers, all these are passive devices. So in this session, we will be discussing MOSFET, all right? So unlike BJT is a current control device, right? So we require base current in order to control the output current at the collector in BJT, right? Whereas MOSFET is a voltage control device. Power MOSFET is a voltage control device and requires very small input current. So in this power MOSFET, the switching speed is very high in terms of nanoseconds. Okay, so when we discuss switching characteristics, we'll know why is it so high. Okay, and mainly these power MOSFETs are used for low power high frequency converters circuits. All right, so um, so and so by the end of this session, you will be able to describe the steady state characteristics of power MOSFETs. All right. So you know that there are two types of MOSFETs, right? Depletion type MOSFET and enhancement type MOSFET. In depletion, you know there are two types, N channel and P channel. Even in enhancement type, you know that we have two types there, N channel and P channel enhancement type MOSFETs, right? So in depletion type, there is already a channel uh, diffuse between drain and source. So in depletion type, what we have, N-channel depletion type MOSFET is formed on P-type silicon substrate, all right, as shown in figure, with two heavily doped N plus silicon for low resistance connectivity. Okay, the you have a gate terminal which is isolated from the channel by a thin oxide layer. All right. So with this, you have three terminals in MOSFET. You know that it is gate, drain, and source. Normally, the substrate is connected to source. All right. The two types are shown here. As you can see, in enhancement type, there is no physical channel, right? So since uh, in depletion type MOSFET, even with the gate voltage at zero, that is even at zero gate voltage, the device will be in on condition, all right? While in enhancement MOSFET, with a zero gate voltage, the enhancement type MOSFET will be off. That's why they are generally used as switching devices in power electronic circuits. So we will know more about enhancement type because of its wide application. All right. So we'll go in detail. Most of the construction and working it is same for depletion. The only main difference is that in depletion there is already diffused channel, while in enhancement type there is no channel. All right. So let's see. So in a construction part, what happens is first we take a parent material, that is a body or a base of silicon, and then we dope it with a trivalent impurities to make it p-type material. Okay, this parent material or the body, what we call it as, it is called silicon wafer, and generally it is called as substrate or body. So for N-type enhancement MOSFET, the body or the substrate is P-type, all right? The other way around, for P-type enhancement MOSFET, the substrate will be N-type, okay? So now we are discussing N-type enhancement type MOSFET, all right? So after this, after we got substrate, what will be done? The two N-type wells are created, okay? So because of which there will be junction formed between the two N material and the P-type material. So there will be two junctions formed, all right? Now, two depletion regions with the same width will also be formed. So one of the two N wells, one N will act as a source and the other N well will act as a drain. So then we have these metal contacts, okay, with terminals, source and drain. All right. So there are metal contacts for all these different parts, what we call it as source and drain. All right. Now let us talk about the gate terminal. Gate is not in direct contact with the body. So there is a thin layer of silicon dioxide. All right. So the width of the silicon dioxide layer is very small. Why is it? Because we want to have control over the surface by the gate electrode. All right. So even for this gate, you have this metal contact. So you have three terminals, gate, source, and drain. All right. So the reason for the label metal oxide semiconductor FET is now fairly obvious, right? So metal stands for these metal contacts for the drain, source, and gate connections. Oxide stands for the silicon dioxide insulating layer, and the semiconductor for the basic structure on which the N and P type regions are diffused. Okay, that's why the name metal oxide semiconductor FET or MOSFET. Now let's understand the how the channel is formed. Okay, initially, if you observe, there is no channel between source and drain. Okay, now the substrate is p-type material, right? We know about that. So we already know the majority charge carriers are holes in p-type and minority charge carriers are electrons, and there will be like a overall charge neutrality maintained, which means that the mobile charge carriers will be equal to immobile ions. Okay, now if we make this gate terminal positive with respect to the substrate, so generally as I mentioned, substrate will be connected to the source. Okay, now if you make gate terminal positive with respect to substrate terminal, now you can imagine the working of this whole setup as a capacitor. Okay, so this gate terminal you can imagine as one plate of the capacitor, and the substrate terminal as another plate of a capacitor, and this silicon dioxide will be acting as a dielectric material between the two parallel capacitor plates. Now, say we will connect gate terminal to higher potential and the substrate terminal to the lower potential. Now, after applying a voltage, that is the positive charges will accumulate over the gate plate and the negative charges will accumulate over the substrate plate. Now, it is very important to understand why or how these negative charges are accumulating over the substrate plate. Okay. Now, substrate is the body of the MOSFET, and there are minority charge carrier electrons, and they are negatively charged, right? So, initially, when VGS is low, electrons will accumulate near the surface. So, because of this negative charge on the plate, when we increase VGS, the voltage VGS, then uncovering of negative immobile ions will take place in the body. Okay, see, we have positive and negative immobile ions, right? So when we increase VGS more, the uncovering of negative immobile ions will take place. Because of this, the holes will be pushed forth or pushed inside, okay, or pushed down. Due to this, what happens? The region near the surface becomes less p-type, and then it will become n-type because of excessive negative charges here. I'll repeat if you want. See, when you increase VGS voltage, because of the uncovering of negative immobile ions. Uncovering of negative immobile ions means what? The negative electrons are pulled and the holes are pushed away. Okay, so because of this, what happens? There are more free electrons getting accumulated near the surface. Okay, and this region will become more n-type, or it becomes like n-type. Okay, so this process is known as inversion. All right, in inversion, what are we doing? We change p-type to n-type, or we are actually inverting the p-type material to n-type material, right? That's why the process is called inversion. How are we doing that? By making the gate terminal more positive with respect to substrate or the body terminal. Now what happens? Now there is a channel formed in between source and drain. All right. So you can observe the channel and the narrow depletion region there. So the width of this channel, it depends on the voltage what you apply here, VGS. Okay. As you increase the voltage VGS, the width of the channel also will increase. Now, because the channel is non-existent with VGS is equal to 0, and it is enhanced by the application of positive gate to source voltage, this type of MOSFET is called enhancement type MOSFET. I repeat, since the channel is non-existent initially when VGS is 0, and it is enhanced, the channel is enhanced by the application of positive gate to source voltage, this type of MOSFET is called enhancement type MOSFET. Now, as VGS is increased beyond some particular level, that is threshold level, the density of the free electrons in the induced channel will increase, resulting in increased level of drain current. Okay, I'll repeat. What happens if you are further increasing VGS greater than a particular voltage? Then the channel width will sufficiently increase so that it will allow significant flow of current. That is our drain current. Okay. Now, what is this particular voltage? This particular voltage, what we are talking about, is nothing but threshold voltage VT. So the voltage that results in significant amount of current to flow from source to drain is known as threshold voltage VT. I'll repeat, the voltage that results in significant amount of current to flow from source to drain is known as threshold voltage VT. Okay, so as you apply or increase VGS greater than VT, then there is significant increase in the drain current. So that is how the working of the MOSFET happens, that is enhancement type MOSFET happens. So let's understand more about the drain characteristics. While understanding the drain characteristics, the output current is our drain current, right? And the output voltage is our VDS, drain to source voltage. And the control variable is the VGS, that is voltage applied across gate and source. Now the output characteristics will be like the drain current versus VDS for various level of VGS. Okay. Now there are different cases. Let's observe the case number 1. All right. when VGS is greater than VT. That is, the voltage applied across VGS, if it is greater than the threshold voltage, what happens? That means there is already a channel, right? There will be channel between drain and source, and as we increase VGS, the width of the channel will also increase depending on the effective voltage. Okay, so I'll call it as effective voltage is nothing but VGS minus VT. Okay, and there is significant amount of drain current. All right, now Now, this as we are, if we hold VGS constant, okay, say VGS is kept constant, and you're increasing VDS, you're increasing the voltage applied to drain and source. Now, what happens? So the drain current will eventually reach saturation level at one point. Okay. Now, pay attention when you're keeping VGS constant and varying VDS, so at one point the drain current will be constant. Why this happens? It is because of pinching off process. All right, let me repeat that. This leveling off or saturation of the drain current is due to the pinching off process depicted by the narrower channel at the drain end of the induced channel. Let's understand it clearly. Now let's apply Kirchhoff law to this voltage law to this terminal voltages of the MOSFET. Okay, so from that we have VDG. VDG is equal to VDS minus VGS. I'll repeat, VDG is equal to VDS minus VGS. Now let us take one example. If VGS is held constant, all right, VGS is kept constant and VDS is increased. Say VGS we are keeping it at 8 volts and VDS we are varying from 2 volts to 5 volts. Okay, so VDG is equal to VDS minus VGS. I said we'll keep VGS as 8 volts and VDS we are varying from 2 to 5. All right. So say if you're taking 2 initial value, then 2 minus 8 will be minus 6. So VDG will be minus 6. All right. Now if VDS you're changing to say 5 volts, then it will be 5 minus 8, that is VDG will be minus 3. So what exactly is happening there? The gate terminal is becoming less and less positive with respect to drain by the equation VDG is equal to VDS minus VGS. Okay, so that means as you're increasing VDS potential, keeping VGS constant, then the gate terminal, at this terminal, it is becoming less and less positive with respect to drain. So this reduction in the gate to drain voltage will in turn reduce the attraction of the free carriers, that is electrons, in this region. So if there are less free electrons means what? There is a reduction in the width of the channel, right? So reduction in the width of the channel means what? There is a pinch off condition taking place. The width is reduced to say to the state where it looks like it is a pinch off condition. So at that stage, there will be a constant current flowing. That is, the drain current will remain constant. It won't become zero, but there will be some a saturation of the drain current taking place. All right. So that can be understood clearly in this drain characteristics. Observe here. So say your VGS, if it is equal to VT is our threshold voltage. If it is 2 volts, then VGS greater than VT, VGS greater than VT is what? The condition where you have increase in the drain current, right? So what you're observing here, as you are keeping VGS constant, and if you're varying VDS, the drain to source voltage, at some point the current remains constant. Okay, so that point we call it as VDS sat or VDS saturation. So this VDS saturation is nothing but VGS minus VT. Okay, this saturation level VDS is related to the level of the applied VGS. So it's given by VDS sat is equal to VGS minus VT. So that is shown here at this locus point. All right. Now from the graph, you might be able to understand the drain characteristics as shown in the figure reveal that for the device VGS is equal to 8 volts, the saturation has occurred at VDS is equal to 6 volts. If you can observe, saturation means what? Where your drain current remains constant, starts remaining constant, right? So for VGS 8 volt, VDS is 6 volts. Okay. So if you observe here, where exactly is your drain current getting constant? Okay. Now as you go on increasing VGS, for higher and higher value of VGS, the saturation level for VDS also is increasing. So that is shown by this locus point. All right. So for VGS less than the threshold level, as you can observe here, the drain current also will be 0, right? So which is nothing but the cutoff region. So from this waveform, okay, this is the same characteristics shown by Rashid from Rashid textbook. So in this drain characteristic, we can see that there are 3 regions: cutoff region, okay, cutoff region where VGS is less than VT, there is no drain current. There is pinch off region. Pinch off region is what? Where you have VDS is greater than VGS minus VT, or the condition where the drain current becomes constant. Then you have this linear region. So as you're increasing VDS, VGS, accordingly, as you're increasing VGS, the drain current also increases with proportionally with the VGS. Okay, this is your linear region. So from the drain characteristic, we can understand that there are 3 regions of operation: cutoff region where VGS is less than VT, where the device is in off condition, which means that there is no drain current; pinch off or the saturation region where VDS is greater than VGS minus VT. Okay, and the third region is a linear region where VDS is less than VGS minus VT. Okay, so as you are increasing VGS, the drain current also proportionally increases. All right. So these are the 3 different regions which we have to um, understand when we are using MOSFET. So generally MOSFETs are used for voltage amplification when in the saturation region or the pinch off region, where the drain current remains almost constant for any increase in the value of VDS, right? So uh, unlike BJT, you saw that it was used as a switch in saturation region, while MOSFET, it is used for voltage amplification. Then MOSFET is used in switching or applications in linear region. Okay, linear region is what? where VDS is less than VGS minus VT. Okay, in linear region, what happens? The drain current and there is due to high drain current and low drain voltage, they are used in the switching applications. All right. So that would be for this session. Uh, Still more about the transfer characteristics and the steady state and switching characteristics will be discussed in the next session. Please go through. If you have any doubt, let me know. See you in the next session.